And here with me now is popular talk show host Dr. Phil. His show airs weekdays at 3 and 7 p.m. on CBS Detroit. Thanks for joining me.
Oh, glad to be here.
Yeah. We're talking a little bit about entrepreneurship and how people have a great opportunity. I mean, with the buyouts that are happening with the auto industry, what advice would you have as an entrepreneur yourself?
Well, first off, this is something that people can see coming. In other words, there's not going to be a surprise where they just walk in. They see the trends. They know it's going to happen. Plan ahead. You don't want to wait until the day you're on the street to say, what am I going to do next? If you know it's coming or you know there's a good chance that it's coming, take control of your destiny now. Let somebody else subsidize part of this transition period for you so you can get as much of it behind you as possible. And understand that the statistics are true. The primary reason that businesses fail, new startups fail, are basically two. One, a lack of capital, and two, a lack of commitment. It's not easy. Everybody thinks it's a dream to be in business for yourself. That just means you're working for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You're working for the public now, and you're going to have the capital, and you're going to have the commitment. But with that, all of this skill and talent that's been honed within the industry can be marketed in a different way.
And one thing that we want to get to, people have the opportunity to really benefit by getting off their couch and getting involved. However, how do we prevent people from having personal pity parties?
Well, look, you're going to be held accountable for what happens in your life at the end of the day, no matter what happens. So the sooner you get your mind around that, in this old life, that old saying is true. There are no victims, only volunteers. Now, you can sit around and whine and cry that life isn't fair, or you can get up and put some verbs in your sentences and create the results that you want. I've said before, the difference between winners and losers is winners do things losers don't want to do. And if you want to be a winner, then you've got to get up and make a plan and move towards it in a very focused sort of way, and understand that you got to put a timeline. Hold yourself accountable. I've said the difference between dreams and goals is a timeline. You can sit around and dream, I want to be in my own business someday. Really? When?
Yeah.
And what's step one? And when are you going to do that? And what's step two? What's the deadline for that? Put yourself on a timeline. Put yourself on an action plan. Those things can come true.
Are there some real benefits to being an entrepreneur?
No question about it. It gives you such an opportunity to have a one-to-one correlation between what you do and what you generate. If you're working for a big company like an auto manufacturer, you can be the best person there. You can work double hours. You can put all the effort into it, and probably you're going to look at 3 or 4% at the end of the year. You do that in business for yourself, you can double, you can triple your income and the revenues that you generate through your business. It gives you an opportunity to totally control your own destiny. And I've only had one job, and that was when I was in high school. Everything else I've done in my life has been entrepreneurial. And look, it's not for everybody. You got to be a little bit of a riverboat gambler. You got to be willing to wait for that delayed gratification. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Now, when you say riverboat gambler, because we've got 3 casinos here, you want to make sure people don't get that wrong.
I don't mean that you want to go out and shoot the dice. The person you want to bet on is yourself.
Absolutely.
The person you want to bet on is that I believe that my skill, my ability, my efforts, and my energy can pay off because I'm a talented person. If you believe that and you're willing to pay the price, it can happen.
When do people know that it's the right time, though? I mean, you work for hours and hours in the company, and you just don't know when.
But, sometimes this gets forced on them. And they may be taken to that threshold, that precipice where it's like, is this the right time? Well, what are your other options? If you're going to get a buyout where you may have the capitalization to start something that you've dreamed about, that you now make a goal, people may be kind of dragged to that point.
Wow. And you know what? That's information that I don't think a lot of people really pay a lot of attention to. 40 hours, 40 years. Days of company loyalty gone or no?
Days of company loyalty are gone. You can be within 6 months of retirement with lifetime medical, and if it is expedient for the company to cut you, that's going to happen. This stuff about 40 years, 40 hours, and a gold watch, that's history. We're in a highly transient and mobile society. You need to recognize that the only stability you have is counting on you.
Entrepreneurship is the way to go, it sounds like.
No question about it.
Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And good luck on your show.
Glad to be here.
Okay.
Good questions. Thanks.
We'll be back in a moment.